Hi, so glad you dropped by today. Hope you've been having a good week and enjoying the sunshine and a little bit of rain, a little bit of thunder. It's been a crazy week. I've enjoyed getting to visit some family members and just kind of getting out of the house after being in lockdown for so long. But it's been great, and a granddaughter who had a birthday, and just a great week. So I hope your week has been great as well. My name is Linda Phippen, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Ontario, Canada. And I have some cards for you from our new catalog, so I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So the card ideas come from the mini catalog, which I hope that all of you have had your catalog in the mail, received it. If you would like a copy, you can leave me a message on my email and I will get one out to you. And the stamp set is on page 47 and it's called Gorgeous Leaves. It is pretty. There's lots of Christmas products and ideas in our new catalog, but I wanted to stick with fall and not want to rush Christmas, although it'll be here before you know it. So we'll get on Christmas cards in the next couple of weeks, but this is a fall card that we're going to be doing. Some of the dies, these are some samples of the dies. I'm using today the copper foil and some gold sparkly paper. So I'm going to show you that, but there is a lot in this set and I hope you enjoy the card today. So this is the sample of the first card that we're going to do, and it's about gratitude. And you know, there's nothing like a grateful heart. So this sentiment comes from the well-defined stamp set that has kind of a definition for each one of our holidays. And this is the one that I use, gratitude, the feeling in my heart when I think about you. So we have winter, Halloween, Christmas, holiday, and gratitude. So this is the one I'm using today. What a nice addition to a card that makes. And we will get started. Here's some of our little pieces. The outline of our first piece is from the stitched Greenery die, and I hope you can see the design, the leaf design on this paper, because it really does a nice job. Not really here, a little bit. Okay, so it's there and it looks very nice. So this is a pretty quick and easy card. So I've got all the pieces here, so let's just put it together. Okay. Now some of these pieces I find a little tricky using glue on the back. So I found these sticky dots, which Stampin' Up does not sell, but when you have a lot of pieces without getting glue all over you, this is great. So let me show you how this works. It has a little tab here that we can pull off, and there are little bits of glue all over this sheet. So I'm going to show you how we do that after we get some of our card together. So the front of the card has the leaves on it, which is very stunning. Sometimes this gets a little sticky. There we go. Okay, so we'll put our first layer on. And the color that we're using is Cherry Cobbler, very pretty red fall color. And I'm going to put on, I'll show you there, the outline first. And it is very fine. So what you do on this paper that has sticky parts on it, you just stick it on and it picks up the glue or sticky specks. There we go. And now, just make sure I get the top of it. I'm going to put it up just a little bit higher than I have on my original card. Okay. Hard to believe something that easy could give you a challenge. And then you just take the, if you need more, you just place it on there, give it a little rub on the paper, pull it up, and it is ready to be placed on your card. No mess, no fuss. This gold is in the package that has gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. And I've used the rose gold. This is the first time using the gold, but it does have a nice shine and texture to it. It's very, very pretty. So I can see we're going to be using a lot of that, especially at Christmas. So we'll put this other, lots of gold in this card, which is okay. And the sentiment, the gratitude, has lots of dimensions on the back. So we'll just undo all those. Try to keep our surface as neat as we can. So we can, so most of the work on this card is doing the die cutting ahead of time, which really isn't that hard to do. So just put some gold leaves on there underneath the front of our card. Then on the inside of the card, I just used the splatters that are in this set. You can do your own splatters if you like, but I just get our set there. So I just put splatters on the bottom, and you can put some more on if you want, because it's so much fun. Then I just took a couple of the Cherry Cobbler die cuts and put them on the inside of the card. So what did I do with my, there it is. Gluing it is fine. You know, you can do the gluing. I just get it all over my hands. And just another piece of and then you just add it to the inside of your card, and that is card number 1. Pretty easy and a very effective card because it is just so pretty. Anytime you put gold on a card, it just puts it up a level. So there, quick and easy card number 1. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that card. I enjoyed making it. The second card we're going to do is we're going to create our own designer series paper. So I'm going to bring back my paper here. Leave our sticky specks there. And oh yes. Okay, so we'll do, I'm using cinnamon cider, I think that's what it's called. Cinnamon cider and very vanilla that look very nice together. So one is going to be the inside of the card and one is the outside. So the inside, I went all the way around with the smaller set. Okay, so the colors that we're using for this card is pumpkin pie, merry blow, cinnamon cider, and mango melody. So it doesn't matter which you start with, but let's start with the cinnamon cider. And I just, you know, when you're doing your own designer paper, you just put it wherever you wish. And this stamp set has, if you can see closely, splatters that go around the outside of it. Very awesome. I'll just do one more here. I'm trying to wipe them off because we're going to be using the same stamps over again and we don't want to mix up our colors. So then we will do the pumpkin pie. And I did the maple leaf with that one. Although of course you can use whatever colors you want. Fall really is a lovely time of the year in terms of color. Very nice. Sad though that the gardens are done, and just hate that part of it. And there we go with that one. Give it a quick wipe. We'll close that color. The next color we'll use is the Merry Merlot. And this is a deep red. It looks very, very nice. And I'm trying to use all of the different leaves in this card. And again, it doesn't matter where you put them. Then what's really awesome is this splatter. There are two splatters in this. So I'm going to use the, what was this called? Mango Melody, to put the splatters in between. And they go anywhere you want them to. And if you stamp off, it gives a nice variation of color as well. So I didn't leave very much of empty space for this. And there is the first layer. Now before I put away everything, I just used the splatter with the same Melody Mango. So let me just go around. And everything looks so nice on the very vanilla. And if you miss it, you just go back. So then I took the smaller leaves with the cinnamon cider and just went around, all the way around. And because it does 3 at a time, this is like the quickest ever. There we go. And that is a pretty quick card. Okay, so we'll put on our inside, or our outside first. And I used the cork product that we have for our sentiment. And I put it just down a little bit. And then the stamp set also has this branch. So I used cinnamon cider and the cork. And what I did was I just placed them along the one side of the card. So we'll use this. Now this is pretty delicate, so you just want to be careful when you're putting the glue on it. So this one is the cork, so I put that in the middle. And just get a few more pieces of it on there. There we go. Okay, and then the 2 other branches, and if they go above or below, we just give them a little snip. So a branch there, branch at the top, and a little haircut. I mean, you could, of course, very carefully get them all on, but I always want to leave options open. And then we'll put the inside of the card on. And this sentiment said, "I thought of you today." And I picked that up from a stamp set that I'll look around for in a second. So let's just put this on. And that is card number 2. Now I didn't put any rhinestones on. I could have. I just found it like there's just lots going on, and it's your choice, but I chose not to this time. I thought it was just awesome the way it was. Now this card here is just a little bit messier, but lots of fun. So let me show you how I did this card. But I do want to put down something that will catch more of the mess, because I'm going to make a mess. So the background is embossed. It's colored, then embossed. So this is the timber embossing folder, 3D embossing folder from the new catalog, and it has a lovely grain, looks like bark right off the tree. So let me just show you how I did this. Okay, so I used the biggest stamping block that we have, and I have 4 colors here. And when I was playing with it, I found that my fingers, especially with the red, took a couple days to come off, only because it was the red. But I just thought I'd try this, even though the glove has lots of rips in it, but that's okay. It'll save me from taking a couple days to get it off. So the first time I did it, I put drops, and then I found when I was doing my card, there was lots of dark parts on it, which is fantastic if you want to be using this paper to cut out with your dies, but I wanted it to be a background. So what I did was I put some lines on it. That is pumpkin pie. This is the cherry cobbler. So it looks like there's lots of ink there, but it's not. There's hardly any. It's just a few drops. So this one here is crushed curry. And this is Cajun. So I just put a little bit of that one in. Okay. So now part of the challenge of this one is you squirt water on it. So this is where some of it gets a little messy. So I just put some water on it. And I just put a little bit on the paper so that we don't. And all you do is just mush it on there. And if you still have some ink on there, you can just wipe it up. Now this one is still a little polka dotty with lots of dots. So you can eliminate that by maybe putting more water on it. But it is a process, but it is surprising how much ink is still around. So after you do your background, then you let it dry a little bit. You can use your heat tool to do that, or you can let it dry overnight. But then you put it through your embossing folder, just like this, and put it through your machine to get the texture. So I went ahead and did one. This one I did more yellows and softer colors. That one I just did maybe too many colors, but this one looked quite nice. So I changed oh, there it is. So this one will be lighter than this one here, but to darken it up, this is neat too. Because of the texture that you have on there, you can take your, you can take your ink pad and pull it across to emphasize the texture part of it. The only thing you need to be careful when you're doing this is not to stop halfway unless that's the look you're looking for. So I started at the top and just gradually brought it over. And that darkens up your background, and it makes it very nice. It shows off the 3D embossing folder. So now it has a different look again. So before we do that, I do have a piece of early expresso, and to get that to go across in the middle, I measured 3/4 of an inch. It is 1.5 inches wide, and on each side I put a little mark here for 3/4 of an inch, which is halfway. So when you put your banner across, you want to make sure that you get each corner in the middle of your 3/4 of an inch, just lined up, and that will give you an even on each side of your card when you're doing it. And just cut off the ends. And there we have our border that goes down the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do though is put this right on our first layer. Now you do want to get your adhesive close to the end, because now your paper has been stretched and there's been water and ink and everything else on it, so it gets a little bit temperamental. Okay, so put this on. See what I mean? It just, the things you learn as you do these cards. Okay, got our first layer on, and you know what? I'm just going to stick it right on the card, and then we can decorate it. We can do this. There we go. Easier to line up three sides. Okay, so I used maple leaves, and we have our sentiment here. So I'm going to use this these sticky dots again. This copper paper is it's nice and firm, so it's easy to put in. So there's one maple leaf. And two maple leaves. Down here. There. And I did what I often do with my sentiments is I put layers on. I wanted to get the early espresso to show up the curry. And then the copper behind that. So you line them up. Just make sure that they're straight, like nothing is overlapping on the bottom, because you only want it to be on one side because of the dimensions of it. So that is a 3-layer sentiment that just says we're thankful. I'll just leave that for 1 second so that it can fall into place. And what I need is some dimensions, which don't seem to be here right now. Anyway, put the dimensions on. And I cut the leaf here, put that on there, and I used the brushed metallic adhesive dots, and there's copper, gold, and silver. So I put that on there, and then 2 others, one up there, and another one on the sentiment. Then this one, I did the leaves already. You can take more splatters or have less splatters, and that is card number 3. So I hope you've enjoyed these cards. They were fun to do, and remind you how quickly time is going, because before you know it, it will be fall, and then it will be Christmas, and another year will have come and gone, which is not a bad thing this past year. So these are the 3 cards that we did today, and all about gratitude and being thankful and thinking of others. So again, I've enjoyed these cards. I hope you have too, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.